So, what was the colony?
It was different type of people, different kind of extraterrestrials that you meet. Right there, you could talk. Right there, you could see different plants, different kind of people. You could see like paintings of different kind of worlds. It's like each spot has their different culture, and you can go and you can talk about what's happening around. Right there, you're free to talk.
So these are extraterrestrial colonies that have been there a long, long time.
Yeah, there's colonies that have been there a long, long time. They protect the zone in between Saturn, Jupiter, and before Mars.
You're listening to Exopolitics Today with Dr. Michael Salla, your source for the uncensored truth regarding the human, extraterrestrial, global, and political agenda. Click the like button and subscribe to this channel. And now, here's Dr. Michael Salla.
Well, we are back with JP on Exopolitics Today, and he sent me an amazing video showing details of different areas on Ganymede where he says he spent time or that he knows what is happening at these different areas. So before we play that video, I just wanted to ask JP a few questions. Thanks for coming back on the show, JP.
No problem. My pleasure, Dr. Michael.
Right. Well, the first question is, how much time did you spend on Ganymede?
It was more like 5 to 6 hours around there.
Okay. So you spent 5 to 6 hours on Ganymede. So how did you learn about these different areas on Ganymede that you describe in the video?
They take you in like these little shuttles. They're really fast. They're the size of the size of a minivan or the size of a car. And you just strap on and they take you to different locations and you do your time. But 5 hours or 6 hours. And then you go to different spots in Ganymede throughout that time.
So in 5 to 6 hours, you were able to learn about all of these different areas on Ganymede because you were on a shuttle that was taking you and a lot of other soldiers to these different areas for whatever work. I mean, you talked a lot about doing security. Was that the primary goal of you being shuttled to these different areas?
Primary goal is to pull security, but also work on different things that are there.
Okay, so security is the primary goal, also working on different things that are there. That's where your MOS specialty comes in. You're a quartermaster chemical repairer. So stuff that you actually did on Ganymede, or did you just do security there?
I just did security, but most of the guys, they did other things.
Mm-hmm. So you say you were transported on these shuttles, and they were minibus size. So how many people were on these shuttles? And did they go in the air? Were they underground? Or how did the shuttles move?
Some of them were underground. Some of them was in the air. Mm-hmm. But we're in the air. There's always another shuttle following us, pulling security. So there's always 2 or 4 or 5 guys at a time in these type of shuttles. So we rotate out. In my situation, we rotated out every 1 hour and a half or an hour. That's what I felt that we were doing rotations. In between, I don't know. I don't remember as much in between. We're probably there for more than 24 hours. But what I remember is the spots that I was pulling security, the spots where I was stationary. That's what I remember. And in between. But in between, there's blanks of in between things that you don't remember. But you ask other people, you ask other soldiers, and you say, hey, what was the situation here? Do you remember this? Yeah, I remember that. And you put 1 and 1 together. And that's how you put the time and, how long you put security for, and the time that you gave in different places or in Ganymede. I remember like a total of 6 hours on Ganymede.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much longer I was there. Okay. I remember 6 hours. Like you're there longer, but the job that you're doing when you're working is a total of 6 hours. So I was probably there longer. I'm not saying I was just there 6 hours on Ganymede.
So now you describe different areas on Ganymede that you saw, that you identify in your video. You identify these different areas. Now, did you actually see these different areas, or were you told about them?
The horseshoe facilities, we pulled security there. That's where I felt the beautiful sensation. Like you felt so happy that you're there. You want to share it with other people. You want to get closer to it, but there's other levels of security that you can't pass, that they're higher level than yourself. So there's a zone that you can't pass, but you yourself, you're there pulling security for that particular zone. But from there, you can still feel the sensation, the vibration, the life. I just wish people could feel what I felt.
So can you describe this horseshoe complex that had 6 sites, and you felt good, you were pulling security there. So what was there? I mean, who was there? What beings were there?
I don't know what particular beings were there. I'm assuming they're high-level beings. To feel what I felt, there were high-level beings that were there. There's a smaller building, there's a medium-sized building, and there's a big building. And then there's a big building, medium-sized building, and a small building. But they look like igloos. They look like igloos, round like that to the ground. But then it spreads out like it's connected to the ground. So these facilities are ancient. They're really, really old. While I was there, you could feel from your feet to your head, to your head, to your toe, you could feel your heart rate go with the zoom of what you feel, go with the sensation that you feel. Like everything synchronized when you're close to these buildings. Like everybody's heart rate is the same. Everybody feels the same. Everybody is happy the same way. It's like synchronized. Everybody synchronizes when they get close to these facilities. That's my experience.
Okay, so you were pulling security there. So what did that entail? Were you standing there with some sort of machine gun or a laser gun?
No.
Astronaut suit on the surface. What was security?
Just looking who comes in and who comes out. We did have a type of weapon, but it's a weapon that can't describe. It's not like nothing you hold.
Okay,
like,
so
how
you
can I
describe facility or these 6 sites, like having an igloo shape. So were you like inside one of these igloo shaped structures?
No. I'm not inside. We're outside.
Okay, and so what were you wearing? Were you in a kind of astronaut suit? What kind of a suit were you wearing?
We're wearing like not an astronaut suit, but it was a helmet. It was a material that is a little bit tight, but it has tubes, and out of it, like on the side, you have 1 tube and then an inner tube that goes into your grind. Not into your grind, but like around the grind area. And these tubes, it has a type of metal that I don't know that keeps you warm. And yeah.
This suit, describe it. I mean, does it cover your full body? Does it cover your face? Do you have a helmet on?
It covers your full body and it covers your head and your chin areas. They call it the slim helmet, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You put it on, and the glasses transitions. You can see augmented reality in the glass on the temperature and on other people's suits. Like the left part corner, you got the temperatures of the other people that are working with you, and then on the top right corner of the suit, you got your temperature and your heart rate. But when you look at it, they're all synchronized. They're all the same way. That's how I know that we were synchronized, our heart rate and how we were feeling, because everybody's showing the same number when we felt what we were feeling. And we were like talking to each other. Do you feel that? I said, yeah, we feel that. All right, let's keep, looking. And you just feel happy.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the suit kept you warm.
Yeah.
What about oxygen? I mean, oxygen supply, did the suit that? I mean, or did you oxygen tanks? I mean, how did you...
We had oxygen. Once we wear the helmets, we have oxygen.
Okay. How long does the oxygen last for with one of those helmets? Because we're not talking about an oxygen tank. We're just talking about a helmet that you put on covering your face, and then a suit, a kind of tight suit. So, the obvious question is, well, where is all the oxygen stored for you to be able to breathe through there to pull, hours of security on the surface of Ganymede?
You just got oxygen, Michael. I don't know how it is or how they do it, but you got oxygen.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'm sure it's part of the helmet, because when you do look at the helmet, it has the glass, but of the bottom part of the helmets, they have these two little. It looks like we get the oxygen from the atmosphere itself. I don't know how they do it, but that little helmet does it.
Okay, so maybe the helmet's acting more as a filter as opposed to like an oxygen supply. And so, I mean, did you know, or were you told anything about the atmosphere Ganymede, that a full-blown atmosphere that's breathable, or did it have...
Well, I know inside the facilities you can breathe like regular, but it has a different scent. It has like a plasticky scent, the air that you breathe, like a rubber plasticky scent. Like it's not it doesn't smell like earth oxygen. It's like a plasticky oxygen. But like after a while of smelling the oxygen, I know your nasals, like right here, it doesn't hurt. But when you run like 2 or 3 miles and you get this pain right like in your nasal passage, that's what it feels sometimes.
Okay. And you were pulling security at this horseshoe facility. Did you see extraterrestrials coming in and out, or were they just
a lot of different kind of shapes of ships? And the time that I was there, I saw like probably like 6 different type of ships coming in and out.
And what did the ships look like?
Some of the ships look like the ships that we see on Earth. They look round, looking like a saucer shape. Those shapes. We got the oval shapes, spacecraft that comes in and out. We got the triangular TR3 looking ships coming in and out. We got they look like planes, but they're not. We got those ships coming out. They're triangular. They look like the bombers, but they come in and out a lot.
Mm-hmm. Now, you talked about classified technologies being taken to the horseshoe facility. So what kind of classified technologies are we talking about?
Right now, I can't talk about that.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, I talked to you about a lot of things. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't.
I understand. We don't want to get you in trouble. So let's go on then.
It's just for the security. It's just for the security of Ganymede. There's people there that deserve the respect of keeping their secret, just to protect the moon, Ganymede.
Okay. So you describe 6 points of entry into the interior of Ganymede, and you say that these 6 points of entry, in your video, you describe those 6 points of entries, and you say that's where you go into the underground cities and where these oceans down there. So, so these 6 points of entries, I mean, how did you know about that? I mean, did you see them? Were you told about them?
I saw 3 of them. The other 3 I did not see, but the 3 that I went to, they look exactly the same. They're the size of pyramids. You go in and it's hollow, and they're pyramids that have inside it has like a glowing tube that goes into the floor. So okay, you enter it, right? And you look up, you see like this huge ass crystal like in the middle. There's a huge glowing bluish crystal in the middle that you see. You look up, and then coming out from the crystals, each corner of the pyramid, there's like a glowing tube that goes into the ground, and it's breathable air. Once you enter the pyramid, the door can be open, but once you enter, you can take your helmet off and breathe. You can take off your helmet and breathe. And there's a ramp in the middle of the crystal that goes down, and then they have these lakes in the bottom, and they have these ships that merge from the lake, and people get in and come down. And so the tubes are full of water, but they still go as fast like as on air than water. So these ships, they go through the water like really fast. But you enter into these shuttles that look similar to the ones that they carry us around, and they just, you don't see them no more. But that's after you go down to the ramp that has a ramp going up and that ramp going down, similar to a train station or something like that. But you have people walking up, you have people walking down. You don't talk to nobody. That's one rule they have. Once you're in the ship, you keep calm and you get to your destination. And I actually went to one of these points to go to the colonies.
Okay, so one of these 6 points of entry in that area that you identify in your video, that gives you access to a colony. So, what was the colony?
What was the colony?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was different type of people, different kind of extraterrestrials that you meet. Right there, you could talk. Right there, you could see different plants, different kind of people. You could see like paintings of different kind of worlds. It's like each spot has their different culture, and you can go and you could talk about what's happening around. Right there, you're free to talk.
So these are extraterrestrial colonies that have been there a long, long time.
Yeah. There's colonies that have been there a long, long time. They protect the zone in between Saturn, Jupiter, and before Mars.
So why were you taken there? I mean, if your main goals seem to be at that horseshoe area facility, pulling security. So then why was it that you were taken to this area with these points of access or these pyramids where you have access into the interior of Ganymede? And
there's different kind of shifts that you do, Michael. You do get tired. You get switched out to do your security. So they take you to these different places just to cool down. And I pulled security a total of 3 times. But in those 3 times, I remember visiting in between these places.
Okay, so these places are kind of almost recreational type areas where after you've done pulling. And so what was a typical security shift?
Like 1 hour.
Oh, okay. So we're talking pretty intense. And then you get on a shuttle, go relax a little bit at one of these colonies. And so I guess it must have been pretty close for you to be able to just do an hour shift at this horseshoe facility, and then you hop on a shuttle and you go to this access area into the underground and you spend a little bit of time and then you go back.
Yeah, the distance is long. If we have the conventional kind of planes or something that, the technology that we have here on Earth. But the technology they have over there is those shuttles are fast paced. You get there really fast.
Okay. What else can you tell me about the interior, like the colonies or the oceans? Did you see the oceans?
I did not see the oceans, but talking to certain people in the colony, they tell me about how the oceans are. There's creatures in the oceans. There's creatures bigger than whales inside these oceans that breathe only water. There is creatures that live inside other creatures. It's like how can I say this? It's like an adaptation of what they have, that you have creatures living in other creatures. Now they told me about this creature, the one I was just talking about, the whale, right? It looks similar to whales, but it's like 3 times bigger. It has pockets that closes and open on the sides. I'm thinking those are the gills or something, but these pockets, they go in, and there's other creatures that live inside these pockets, and they feed on the fat that these creatures have. So it's like how can you say that?
A symbiotic relationship between different types of sea animals or marine life.
Yeah. It's like I think we have creatures like that here that they use other animals to just survive.
Yeah, I think dolphins have remora that are kind of parasitic, but they have a symbiotic relationship. So that's possible. You describe one of these colonies as having a library and you going into it or spending time there. So describe that.
That was a different location. That's where I was pulling. That's where I felt I was like 2 hours or the most I was pulling security. So this spot that you get in is separated from the colony. It's more closer to the points that I was telling you about, where the entrance, the pyramid looking points that goes into the ocean. These libraries will change the way that you look at people, will change the way that you look at the world. Like, you see information there that you wouldn't believe existed. Like they're like little, like triangular or circle buttons, right? Made of rocks. And then on top of it, you see the name of where these rocks were from. And you just press it, and then you just see a screen come out from there. Once you press, you see the screen that comes out, and it tells you information about that particular rock or where it was from, and it shows you different places that is not even in our solar system or of where these rocks are from. So it is more like a video. You don't necessarily read, but it's a library because it's like a dictionary. It gives you information about different things. So I remember being there for quite a while. I don't know how long I was there, but I remember going through a couple of these particular, you touch it and the screen comes out and it stops here. It doesn't go through you. It's a light that stops, and you can see, like, you're immersed into it, and you can like feel the wind, and you can smell what they're talking about, and you clearly understand what they're saying.
So this was a library facility? How many other people were there?
There's other people there. It's like a library. Everybody's quiet, listening, but you cannot listen. It's kind of cool because like you can have somebody next here to you. They have their screen up, and you can do like this, but not listening. You can't hear their screen. They only can hear it. So you have to go there. Like, okay, I'm interested in what he was. You can see the pictures, and I'll go. Oh, I'm interested in what he was seeing. So you go there and you listen to the video.
And was this library an extraterrestrial library, or was it like part of the Space Command library? Did they put it there?
It's been there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It has security there. I pulled security there, and I decided to go inside to see what I was pulling security in.
So when you say you pulled security there, this was in addition to the security at the Horseshoe facility? You also
No,
did...
this is different from the Horseshoe facility. This is another location. When you see the video, I explained the different places and where they're at. The Horseshoe building is something that's a different zone. There's things there that is different. It's different from the facility of where the library is. The facility where the library is, you can go in and out. But that facility of the Horseshoe building is not connected.
So this library facility, do you get to it through those 6 access points that go into the extraterrestrial colonies and the underground oceans?
It's connected. That's one location also you can travel through. It has one of these pyramids things, and it has a crystal that is in the middle and all that. And it has a ramp also as well. But it also has the library that's connected to it.
Now, when you say you pulled security at the library, so this was the same as when you did it earlier at those 6 areas at the horseshoe-shaped facility. You're in a suit, or some sort of helmet that's covering your face.
Mm-hmm. Yes, same thing. The outer perimeter of the library.
And just to remind me, the library is on the surface or underground?
It's not on the surface. You go in, and it's a different. It looks like a temple when you go into it. You see statues. You can see different kind of ancient. You see statues of different ETs that are wearing robes. You see statues of different kind of trees. It's beautiful. It's old architecture.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell it's been there for a long time.
Okay. So overall, you were taken there. You spent some time pulling security in those different areas, and it all happened. I mean, you recall 6 hours.
6 hours. I remember what I've.
You think it might have been longer than that? Probably
I
was
think
longer. But...
I think it might have been longer, but what I remember is 6 hours worth of information.
So, that's kind of a relatively short period of time. I mean, I think the obvious question a lot of people will have is, why would the secret space program or Space Command take you and other soldiers from Earth to spend a day or 6 hours or whatever the period was in Ganymede and then kind of like ship you back? Is that typical?
There's always the shifts that comes in and out. I don't know what, like everybody asks themselves, like, okay, this is stupid. Why can they get somebody from here and do the job? Why they have to get us? And we spend this amount of time, then we come back. Isn't that like stressful on us? Isn't that like, and nobody never know why they do these type of things, but they just do it. I don't know, like, what's the sense of it, but behind everything, there's everything they do, there's always something why they do it. Why do they do this particular thing? Mm-hmm. Why, and I'm sorry, I speak 3 languages, so sometimes my vocabulary is not as good as I, to express different things. But I believe that they do this because they want people to experience a portion of what is happening. And it's not only me. We're going out and there's another ship going in. We're going out and there's another ship going in.
And
It's
so when
like,
you say another ship's coming in, we're not talking the shuttle. The shuttle takes you on Ganymede
oh
to
yeah,
places on Ganymede. But between Ganymede and Earth, what's transporting you, and how long does it take?
it's fast. I don't know how long it takes, but it's fast. You get there like really fast.
Really fast. What, we're talking minutes? We're talking half an hour?
We're talking about minutes.
Okay,
It's fast.
all right. Well, that kind of makes more sense if they, and what kind of a ship do they use to transport you from Earth? And can you say anything about the point of departure on Earth? Was it a space command
I
facility?
can't I can't talk about the point of departure.
Okay,
I could tell you it was an armada, like of a line of ships that went over there.
from Florida, from
Uh,
one of the bases in Florida. Is that what you said?
is connected to Florida, yeah.
Okay, and so the main ships that take you from the point of departure to Ganymede. Can you describe the ship?
The ship is huge. I can't describe the ship. I'm sorry, Michael.
When you say it's huge, I mean, does it like have a lot of people, a lot of soldiers in it? Does it have multi levels?
It has multi levels. It has, a lot of people think you're like when you go to space, you're like stuck to a sea and all that. No, you do float. You do feel the sensation that you're in space, and you do have certain spots that have magnetic for you to walk on, and there's spots that are off limits, yes, and there's places that you go there to eat. It is so fast. Everything that happens, it's so fast. Like you're there, you're in, you go in, you get strapped on, boom. Okay, we're heading out, boom. Everybody blacks out when the ship takes off. It's something that happens, and that's why I tell you, in between, you don't know how long it is. It feels like 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, and then you just open your eyes, and you're doing something. You close your eyes, you're doing something else. You close your eyes, you're doing something. You open your eyes, you're in a different location. It's like your body's in autopilot.
And when you come back, JP, what happens? Are you debriefed? Are you told to sign a non-disclosure agreement? Do you have your
Well,
memories wiped?
when you come back, you can totally feel the time that when you're coming back. We clearly saw Jupiter. I clearly saw Jupiter close. It's an experience that I wonder is similar to those that when they see Earth for the first time. But when you see Jupiter, you see all these beautiful colors. You see the little like lightning and different clouds and all that. And there's people working in between these clouds because you hear the other soldiers or you hear the other people saying, "Oh, I remember being there. Oh, there's a facility there." It's like, "Oh yeah, oh cool, oh, yeah." You hear them talk about like their experiences and all that. So yeah, they put you to this room in Ganymede before leaving, and they tell you like, "Okay, you're ready to go back. Thank you for serving here." And we're like, "Okay, awesome. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come here. It's a beautiful opportunity for us to come here and give our time. Thank you." You just say thank you for giving us the experience and to do what we did. And they take us lined up We all line up. We all do accountability, and we go back.
Once for you? I mean, you've done this once or gone to Ganymede?
Yeah, to Ganymede once.
And in your first video, you talked a lot about forming friendships with different extraterrestrial groups or with different humans. So, I mean, you pulled a few security shifts and were there for like somewhere between 6 hours or maybe somewhere less than 24 hours. It could have been as much as that. So, how did that develop? Are you pulling security shifts with the ETs? Or just talking to them when you're providing security?
Some of them, mostly we pull security together, same species. But sometimes you pull security, like in the library, we pull security with the different extraterrestrials. They were taller than us. They were more slinky looking, and but they still look humans.
Okay, well, I mean, this is really fascinating information, JP.
I'm sorry. I couldn't give you more.
Well, that's okay. You have Yo. I mean, this is just to kind of like the stage for your video, so people can now understand the different areas we talk about that you present in your video. So that video goes for just over 4 minutes, and we are going to play it just at the end of this interview. So before we play the video, anything you want to say about the video, or any parting words, JP?
No, the video explains, more in detail of, what happened.
Okay, well, thank you, JP. This is Dr. Michael Salla with Exopolitics Today, and here's JP's video about pulling security on Ganymede and the different places that he's aware of there.
Hi, my name is JP, and I'm going to share key locations of the moon Ganymede. It's really interesting. I want to thank Dr. Michael E. Salla for giving me the opportunity to bring this information out. It's really exciting times that we're living. And this is the moon Ganymede. It's around Jupiter, and a lot of military personnel from the United States and other countries and the moon work together to go to this moon and bring different kind of technology. Now, places where we pull security, you see the red zones, those that are highlighted, those are key spots. I'm going to share with you little by little what these spots are and, what we do there. Quite interesting, this moon. It's larger than Mercury. It's the 9th largest object in our solar system. And it has more water than Earth, and it also has a magnetic field because of the pull that Jupiter has on it. It's quite interesting. This place acts more like a planet than a moon. So the first location I'm going to share with you is the Good Energy Horseshoe facilities. When we work near here, we feel so much good energy. The 3 points and the other 3 points on the other side. It creates like a horseshoe, and it's really symbolic in this moon Ganymede. And we bring a lot of technology to these facilities, and they work on a lot of classified stuff that not even I know what they're doing. It's really high level stuff. It's quite interesting. And if you ever visit Ganymede, you have to pass it by here because this makes you feel so good. Now, this other location I'm going to share with you is the entrance to the inner oceans of Ganymede. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points that you see in the middle. These points takes you into Ganymede, into the oceans, to different other facilities and other little cities that Ganymede has. It is quite cool, the system, how they take us place to place inside these. Oh my God, it's so amazing. This other place is the bottom left of Ganymede, colonies of extraterrestrial species. This is where we go and mingle with other extraterrestrial species, and we talk and we share our experiences. And you can clearly see the round buildings or the round facilities that you see there. They're like 2 by 5 mile big, and inside it has vegetation of different extraterrestrial species. It's quite interesting, this area. Now, this is the place, the location where I was working. This also could take you into the inner oceans of Ganymede and other facilities in Ganymede. But I spent more time here, and it was really touching leaving here, because you know, there's a beautiful library in that particular building that talks about the history of that zone in Jupiter and Ganymede and Saturn. And there's a beautiful library there that I like to be in, and it's really cool. Now, this last location is really interesting for a lot of people. It's going to be interesting for the secret meeting rooms. That's where all the talks of different extraterrestrial species get together, and human species get together and talk about the situation that's happening around our solar system, near the Earth, or our solar system and other solar systems, and share technologies. And they have different chambers with different topics that they talk about. This is really kind of interesting, this spot right here. And this is where we pull most security. And this is my information. Dr. Michael E. Salla, here you go.